I don't know if I stressed this enough in my previous videos, but Daredevil Born Again was my most anticipated project of 2025. And the first two episodes dropped, and I've got feelings. But before we begin, I want to mention that I am a huge fan of the Netflix Daredevil show. Now you can watch it on Disney Plus, but it used to be on Netflix. And there were other Marvel shows there, but Daredevil and Punisher, those were the ones for me. Going into Born Again, my expectations were high, and they still are, since we got six more episodes to go for this season. The first episode began in a way that fully distinguished it from its predecessor. It felt corporate, if that makes sense. The shots, the score, the acting, the editing, like the overall vibe made it feel very different from the Netflix show, which kind of scared me, to be honest. The Netflix show was grounded, like very grounded. It was shot with perspective in mind. Daredevil's perspective as a blind vigilante, especially in the fight scenes. But the first episode of Born Again tried to do something with that, but I just don't know what. Like it was very confusing what they were going for. Were they going for like a drama? Were they going for like thriller? I don't know. It was just shot in a very weird way. And I guess I applaud Marvel for trying something new, but this was a very bad look. And it kind of took me out of the show for a moment there. Because that first act was just a mess. A lot was happening. That's what I'm saying. Too much. I couldn't focus on what was important because they were throwing so much at me. It felt designed for MCU fans who haven't seen the Netflix show, and it had all the standard MCU trademarks down to the bad CGI fights. The Netflix show made the fight scenes so good because they were real, like the choreography was like real, like here like they did something weird with the CGI. I'm not 100% sure if they use CGI for those, but there was just some scenes that looked very weird to me. But I guess welcome to the MCU, where practical fight scenes that are apparently a taboo now. It was like, oh, we got a cool fight scene for you, but there's a catch. You won't get to see it because it's going to be dark, and we're going to cover it with smoke. Oh, and also one of the most significant characters from the previous adaptation. Yeah, they're going to die, but it's going to be an afterthought, because we're going to overload the first act so much that it barely even registers. And that pissed me off. I don't want to lie to you. Because that death felt like it was something that was supposed to be huge and it just fell flat. That was like basically my experience of the first act. I think they wanted it to be like a big cinema moment, but honestly, it was just sloppy. Like I could tell somebody was going to die the moment the show began. Like it was very clear. Like the way it was shot, the way it was edited. Like if you've watched crime shows and like those type of shows, right? Like law and crime shows, you can tell the type of editing and stuff when something bad is about to happen. Everyone is all happy, like it's nothing, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden there's a switch. That's exactly what happened here. Everyone is at a bar for some reason. That those kind of scenes. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh, somebody's dying. And I want to say this: whoever was told to binge watch the Netflix shows before this was made did a terrible job. Like, I don't know if these production companies have that kind of person who they tell, oh, we need some like prior knowledge of this show before we reboot it. I don't know if they have that person who goes and goes, yeah, I'm going to binge watch it all and give you all the information. Whoever that guy is, you did a terrible job. But at least the ending of the first act was good. The shot of Daredevil throwing his mask when he quit, and then he transitions into to the intro. That was good. Yeah, the intro is fine as well. We've already seen it with the Netflix shows. It's just like an update of that. It's good. But like that transition was cool. Now, once the episode actually started for real, I enjoyed it. The weird shots and editing were still there, but it's either I was getting used to it or it was toned down. They didn't waste that much time going into the plot. And by the end of episode one, you had a solid idea of what the show was about. The only thing that made episode one worth it was the Fisk and Murdoch interaction at that coffee shop. That scene really kicked off the show properly. And if it had started the show, if it was the first thing we saw, I wouldn't have been mad. Maybe I would have liked the whole episode. But overall, it was solid. It did what a pilot episode should do, which is get people excited for the rest of the show, which I was. At the end of that, I really was hoping to see the next episode. So I thought they just dropped one, but they dropped two, which made me very excited when I saw that because I knew that I was going to get used to whatever I didn't like in the first episode sooner when I see episode 2. The second episode really toned down the over the top shots and editing. They tried to go for a more grounded tone, which I appreciated. Because if it was the same as episode 1, I don't know. I don't think I could have kept watching. It's not fully gone though. When those weird shots and edits pop up, you do notice. But at least the story is good enough to make sure that you don't get distracted, you know? It's good enough that it doesn't completely take me out. And after being disappointed by the first episode's action, the second episode gave me the best fight scene yet. That final fight was brutal. That's the kind of violence that I'm expecting from this show. Not the CGI mess that they did in the first episode. That's unforgivable. But overall, episode 2 was good. They really dug deeper into the story. I didn't have a lot to complain about because I was fully locked in at that point. Like, I enjoy the show, you know. But what I got from these 2 episodes is that we are going to see our favorite characters struggle with their past selves while trying to grow as people and like keep their new, like their new character, their new state. And I'm intrigued. I like the concept so far. Hopefully they don't mess it up at the end or like, hopefully they do keep to that. I also like how the dynamic between these characters has changed. How Fisk is now the mayor, right? And Maddox is now like a full-time lawyer. He doesn't do the vigilante stuff. And their relationship now is so different from before when Fisk was a criminal and Matt was a vigilante, was Daredevil. And now they're like opposite respectively. And it's interesting to see what they're going to do with that. The new characters are there, but they are not taking that much spotlight from the main players, which is a good thing, of course. Because some shows, when they introduce new characters, they tend to focus too much on the new characters, and it ruins the show. But so far, so good. The editing is still an issue for me. Hopefully, I get used to it by the third episode, but it's going to take some getting used to. But hey, I got used to the bad animation in your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, so I think I'll be fine. Honestly, I can't wait to see the rest of the show. I started off worried, but now I'm optimistic because this is a make or break year for Marvel, and series wise, this has been a strong start. But yeah, I've been your boy Teo, and these were my opinions. What are yours? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video and subscribe for more content. See you next time. Alright.